On June 27th, 6 fellow kayakers and I made a round-trip paddle between Washington's Crossing, New Jersey, and the Fireman's Eddy Delaware River access below Lambertville, New Jersey. We put in at Washington's Crossing and paddled north on the Delaware and Raritan Canal's feeder canal. We then portaged over to the Delaware River and headed south on the river back to Washington's Crossing. We parked next to the canal at New Jersey's Washington Crossing State Park, unloaded the boats, and carried them up a short embankment to the canal. The canal's high banks proved to be only a minor issue, and we were off and paddling. There are 5 bridges on this section of the canal, very low bridges. To clear them, you have to take your feet off the foot braces, slide forward off your seat, and tuck down as low as you can go. It's too low and narrow to paddle, so you pull yourself through using the underside of the bridge, which worked fine for all but one bridge, which was covered in runny tar. What emerged from under that bridge was not a pretty sight, and hats, hands, paddles, and boats required a worse than usual post-paddle cleanup. The canal is a relic of the Industrial Revolution, and traces remain, such as this framework of a railroad bridge that crossed over the canal to the original rail bed, now the park's bike path. It is now a trellis for a riot of green. A short distance further down the canal is another bridge to crawl under, this one a long derelict railroad lift bridge, and Jill has negotiating it down to a science. Despite its close proximity to Route 29, wildlife is plentiful along the canal. This bridge marks the end of our time on the canal. It is time to portage over to the river. After a quarter-mile portage to the river, we put in at Fireman's Eddy, just below the Lambertville Rapids. Despite being bracketed by New Jersey Route 29 on one side and Pennsylvania Route 32 on the other, this is a remarkably beautiful stretch of river. Very little of suburbia makes its presence known. With the current pushing us along, we arrived back at Washington's Crossing much too quickly, in half the time it took us to paddle up the canal.